Bridget, I know you had a tough drive in. Yes, I finally made it. I stopped by the city cleanup, so our sponsor, or Benoit mentioned the next cleanup is May 3rd, but we actually had one already on March 15th, so I stopped by there, and that was the first time we had it at Rome, the Catholic Church. St. Francis of Rome, thank you. We had an awesome pizza fundraiser that was for Troop 332 for our Eagle Scout projects. We want to thank the community for coming out and supporting us. I attended one of the RTA meetings, and Mayor Swanson attended the other one for me. And I attended the Autism Task Force. Mostly what I've been doing for the last month is Eagle projects. Saturday we spent from 7:30 in the morning till 6, and several other work days beside that. Both Eagle projects are almost done. Park's open Saturday. They'll be done by Saturday. But I was really proud of them. They're really working hard. And I also want to commend the sheriffs, because if you remember the last city council meeting, we had our two scouts stand up there and talk about how Troop 332's trailer was stolen. And between that meeting and this meeting, our trailer was recovered. It was amazing work. Thank you so much. 80% of our property also was recovered. It was just amazing. So thank you.
I saw you all out there with our lights on, so you could work in the dark.
Yes. Yeah. Let me just tell you, so Marna, it was a little bit easier. Riley Olson's project was all the pink tiles that we painted for the community. He is hanging that was framed very nice. That has electricity, that has water. Now go to Regency Heritage and try to rebuild a dog park with no lights and no water. It's much more of a challenge. In fact, we had to ask the neighbor that's adjacent, hook a hose from her house. So in essence, she was paying for the water, helping us with the project, to hose so we could get there, because we had to have water for the concrete. So there's a will, there's a way. A challenge. Yeah.
Just attended the Marietta State of the City. It's real good. Let's see, the new guy, what is that? Alan Long, the fireman. He was there, he did a good job, but it's always nice to come back to our own community after you've seen other people's things. So I like Wildomar better. I'm glad I live here, not Marietta.
So Mayor Swanson is a tough act to follow.
Then you want to follow that.
They are our neighbors to the south, so I'll get you.
We like them.
Yeah. Quite a few meetings this month. First off, just today, WRCOG, we had our meeting, and also last Monday. One of the things that came out of those two meetings is if some of you have the 2012 report that's still on the table out there, we got the 2013 report out now, and this is available if anyone wants to grab it. We'll get some more for next week or next month. One of the big cities that just joined the HERO program, and for the youths that aren't aware of the HERO program, it's the Home Energy Renovation Program through WRCOG against the tax assessment to clear your house with solar panels or other energy efficiencies on your house. One little city down south was just joined San Diego. So San Diego and one other city joined this week, or will be joining. That will double the whole HERO program. Actually, that the population encompasses more than just Riverside, what is already in Western Riverside County. So that program for statewide HERO programs is growing leaps and bounds. So it's really a neat thing to see. We're up to 22,000 applications now, 15,000 of those approved, and another, I think it's 9,000 actually funded applications and programs to renovate homes and bring them up to new energy standards, or to put solar panels on your roof, or to put in a new water heater, or if you're in that situation where you need some way to finance that new air conditioner because your old one just died, again, it's another opportunity to use that. So. RCTC, we had our meeting this morning, and one of the things that's going on right now is we're wrapping up a lot of the property purchases along the 91 corridor for the 9115 upgrade that I've been talking about. Construction has begun. You'll start to see cables going out the next couple of weeks. They're already out removing trees and other property and stuff like that, and actually starting to demo some of the buildings that, if you drive the 91, you look around, some of the buildings might look like they've been empty for a while. RCT already has bought those to move the tenants out, and we're actually in the process of starting to remove some of those buildings. There's about 40 complete purchases of property, and a lot more, I think a couple hundred more, where they actually just took pieces of property. So that project is moving forward. So soon you'll be able to drive on a fast track lane all the way from the city of Corona on the south side on the 15, have your own on-ramp onto the 91, all the way to Orange County on the fast track lane. So that's moving forward. I attended the sheriff's dinner a week ago, and had a great time there. Got to hear about our officers who did a great job, and their Elsinore station, along with all across the entire entire county. And what really impressed me is every story that they bring up an officer and give them an award for something is something you'd hope to see in a paper of a great story that they did a great job. And so many of them you never hear about. There was a attempted jailbreak, life jail, that I told the sheriff, you know what, we can package it up, send it to Hollywood, it's a movie. And it's just amazing what those four officers went through and what they did to defend our public safety and how good they did and what a good job they did, keeping those inmates in there as long as they could with a limited staff, and then eventually the response team coming in and really getting them back in line. So I commend our officers for all the stuff they go through and without any applause or anything. And to hear stories like that, know that they're going on every night, really impressive all the stuff that was going on. I had my regular AQMD meetings as well. Nothing too much to report out of those. RCA and RCHCA, both agencies again, continuing to do a lot of stuff to purchase land or just take care of the kangaroo rats that are already out there. So with that, I'll give it over to Bob.
I had a resident contact me and ask why we didn't have street signs on some of our streets. So I went out and looked, and I guess we do have some 2x2 posts on some of the streets, some handmade signs on others, and others look official and regulatory. So I brought it to attention of Gary, and they're going to look at it.
All right, it's been a busy month for everyone. I had the pleasure of going to the Elks and giving certificates for the scholarship. It was wonderful to hear what some of these kids are doing right here in our area. I think every one of them were going to be high-end type engineers and medical doctors. One was going into some type of sports medicine, but research, wanting to find out how to build better prostheses. And it was just amazing to see these kids. I think one of them had a 4.6 grade average. And what was he, third or something in the whole Riverside County? It was unreal. I mean, to see these kids coming right, these are from Wildomar. These were from Elsinore High School, even though it's in Wildomar. I won't go there. I also attended the league meetings last Friday. They're the state meetings, and I'm a member of the housing committee, and they go over any laws that may be affecting us, and we've got some important ones coming up, so we're keeping an eye on them. I forward everything on to Gary, sometimes to Dan. You just never know who you're going to get an email. And the RTA, that was really interesting. Bridget is usually there, but I got to go this time. And they have outfitted a bus. They gave a bus to a group that goes to less fortunate communities, to senior areas, senior centers, and it's completely stocked with produce and good food, milk. They have a cooler in there, everything. So they come to the area to these people who can't get out and shop. Their prices are low prices. They aren't there making a profit. They're there to service the community. So that was great to see that RTA stepped up and did that. They don't come out here yet, but they're working on it. So hopefully we'll see them soon. So it's been a busy month.
Had a few more.
Yes, you may.
Sorry, I forgot a couple more. One is I went to Student of the Month, filled in for Marsha over there at that. Sacramento, I got the opportunity to fly up there 2 weeks ago and sit in front of Senator Roth, another senator, and three members of the staff on the governor's side, from the finance office and LEO office. And it was our city, Haruka Valley, and Menifee all were able to contribute to basically telling our story and continuing to pound on them that we need to get our money back because it's all about public safety. And we need those public safety dollars back for our citizens. And it's the $50 that every other city gets that we don't. And so we drove that point home. I think it reinvigorated Senator Roth. I think he is going to be able to use that tape. And it was from a budget subcommittee that was filmed, and hopefully he's going to use that to try and gather more support on the Senate side. I think we have a win right now in the Senate and the Assembly. It's just a matter of getting it through the governor's staff. And we're making progress. I'll continue to push on this. I have the opportunity to maybe see or the number 2 in the governor's office who we met with 2 years ago. She's going to be given an award through AQMD's, not through AQMD, but a group that goes through AQMD quite often, the Clean Air Awards. So I'll be at that event next month, so keep pounding on that and we'll keep them hopeful. So with that, there's one other law that League of Cities has mentioned, and it was a resolution actually. It's not a law, a resolution that was passed that basically, if they made it a law, we would stop functioning as a city probably within about a month. And the law is basically, or the resolution is to basically outlaw the idea of contracting out for services. So I would have to hire directly every sheriff's officer, every fire department person and personnel, every city engineer.
And buy the truck.
And buy all the equipment, and all, we'd have to do all that ourselves, and there's just no way for our small city to do that, and along with about half the cities in California, just could not do that if they were forced to do it in any period of time. So it's a very scary piece of, a very scary resolution that was passed. And of course up there they're saying, oh no, don't worry, it doesn't mean anything. The second paragraph reads, and the people that passed this, we are planning on hoping to bring back legislation to do this. So it's something that I would want to maybe agendize. Yeah, it passed. And I would like to agendize it for next month as far as to send a couple letters up there telling them, no, this doesn't work for most cities. We can't do this, we can't afford this. And to simply outlaw the idea that you can't contract out for anything, you gotta go hire someone to do everything. As scary as that sounds, and maybe a lot of people thinking here, well, you know, there's no way they'll do that. They've already done it to schools. Right now, if you're on a school site and the water fountain breaks or whatever the device is that breaks, they can't go hire, they can't even go after the guy that originally put it in. They got to go find the utility guy that does the maintenance on that inside their own boundaries, inside their own employment group. They can't hire out. So it has happened to other areas. So don't think it won't happen to us. So anyhow, that's it.
And before we move on, Bridget, will you tell us what's going on this weekend, Friday and Saturday?
Parks. Yes, we went through this already in 2007. We opened the parks. Never thought they would ever close, but they are opening again. This will be my second grand opening to be involved in. It's wonderful.
So actually,
yeah,
this is it. We're done. We're going to keep moving.
Michael Williams, the president of Price, called me every day, and I said that this is the last grand opening because they're going to be open forever. But Fridays, we're doing this an event Friday afternoon just for Regency Heritage. Remember earlier with Mr. D? Well, April Watkins is the site coordinator at Wildomar Elementary, and her children, students, along with Rotary Early Act, built the OWL box. I'm not sure if some of you saw the clip from the news clip. And that OWL box is going into Regency Heritage.
If you missed the news clip, I do have no.
Really, the big time news, it was on.
Yeah.
Are you on the clip there?
Yes.
I got it.
And also the dog park. So Friday afternoon, 3:30.
What's happening Saturday morning?
And then Saturday morning is a camp from 9 to 11, and the grand opening from 12 to 3. It actually runs all day, so just come on down from 9 to 3. We have activities for all ages.
Pizza.
Pizza, food, vendors, Elsinore High School bands coming, Elsinore High School cheer. David Harwell, if you remember him, the sign dancer, he started his career here on Clayton Keith. He's now in Hollywood making movies. He's coming back Saturday to join us. Thunder from Storm, John Laskin band, local Wildomar band is doing the music. So it's just a great fun day, and the parks are opening.
Bridget had to make that announcement. Also, a couple of things that are coming up in May before our next council meeting is the community cleanup day. That will be at the high school on May 3rd. There's also at St. Francis of Rome on Lemon a resource fair. And the resource fair is going to tell residents what kinds of things are available if you need some assistance of some kind. So that would be a good place to go to find, or if you've got neighbors that need some help, that would be absolutely great. And then that night at Martha O'Brien Park, what's happening? Come on and tell us.
We're having
Come up to the microphone.
This is our resident astronomer, John Garrett.
We've missed this so much, you guys.
resident amateur astronomer, because anybody can call himself an amateur, him or herself an amateur astronomer. So all of you will be one soon. For about 3 years in a row, we had an annual Wildomar Star Party at Martha O'Brien, and those went over really well. And so now that the park, we actually had scheduled the 4th, and then the park's closed, and so we're resuming on May 3rd. I May 3rd too. Yeah, so we'll have that. Star Party, by the way, we set up our telescopes. We have a little show beforehand. Everyone's welcome to look through the telescopes and see what's in the night sky. If it's cloudy, well, then at least the show works as a backup. And if it's raining, well, use good judgment.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Can you tell us what flew over us a couple days ago? You put a nice announcement on. A lot of people here were able to see it go over.
Yeah. The International Space Station is this very big, bright object, and it's been fun to track for a number of years. And so In fact, actually, my first published photo was of the International Space Station passing next to Venus and Jupiter at 4 o'clock in the morning, only in Wildomar. So I had a pretty good chance. I was going to be the only one taking that photo, and I got it in a magazine. But anyway, it's fun to track. It comes over. It takes about anywhere from 3 to 6 minutes to cross the sky. My kids sometimes race it across the yard. It's fun for all ages.
Thank you.
That night is not just for your kids, whether you have kids or not. The adults absolutely love it. My husband came home and he just was so disappointed when we didn't have another one, so he's ready to go. It's very interesting to see and learn a little bit of something new and enjoy our parks. With that, we will move forward. If I have no other announcements.